Mohamed Kachika, today I'm going to share a very joyous moment when last night the team that I support, Arsenal FC, clinched the English Premiership without hitting a ball. Arsenal won the English Premiership without kicking a ball on that day. But they have prepared themselves for a long time towards that success. And I'm not just bringing it as a soccer enthusiast, but there is a lot of lessons to learn from that experience, both as an entrepreneur, as a social philanthropist, as a mature person, but it is more important even to the young generation. I remember the time when we were very young and ardent supporters of Arsenal. I started supporting Arsenal in 1986. I think I was in my Form 6, that is Senior 6. We divided ourselves, the bulk were Man U, then there was Liverpool, and then Arsenal took the noisy members. But I remember a time when Arsene Wenger built a very solid team, very solid, up until when it reached a point when Arsenal was the team to beat. I remember that invisible team, you know, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, you know, Jens Lehmann in the goal, Nwankwo Kanu. Those guys were invisible, actually called, were invisible. Arsenal went through, you know, the Premiership without a loss. 31 games or something without losing a single one. But I remember it was Man U, I think, that beat us in the next round, and it has taken decades to recover, to lay our hands again onto the coveted trophy. But there's been a lot of lesson to learn. I never gave up supporting Arsenal. But as I grew up, I stopped being very noisy. Apart from the people who are near me, you know, of course, my colleagues at work, my family knows, you know, very few people around me, but I'm not as noisy as I used to be in supporting Arsenal. But neither at any one point did I lose faith in Arsenal. In fact, people got to know that I'm an Arsenal supporter when I was always bringing up economic arguments about Arsenal. But despite of the fact that Arsenal has had, you know, a trophy drought for nearly 2 decades, Arsenal continued to be one of the most profitable teams in Europe because of certain strategies that were first adopted by the manager, Arsene Wenger. He wasn't buying players expensively. Other teams went on to a buying spree, you know, spending tens and hundreds of millions while he was grooming his team to victory. But when he left, we had run out of that steam. They tried to rebuild, and several other coaches have continued to come and try to rebuild, but in vain. All the time we have been too late or too close to clinching the title, including last year. But there are many lessons to be learned. I used to console myself that despite of the fact that our wardrobe is not full of trophies, Arsenal was a lean operating team, winning up to a certain position to go into the championship, making the money. And I'm very sad, the rate of return on Arsenal investors, they were smiling. Despite of the decade without Arsene Wenger winning a trophy, I want someone to tell me which club has changed the coaches, or how often has Arsenal changed the coaches, despite of the fact that over 2 decades it has not been winning trophies. It's a team that is built onto some solid foundation. The proprietors, the owners of Arsenal will know what they want. It's us, the supporters, the fans, which I have a bearing to it, especially the young fans who wanted to see a trophy coming to the Emirates. Soccer is about winning and bringing trophies. But the shareholders of Arsenal have a little been contented in terms of the rate of return. I think Arsenal has been always the second most profitable club in England or in Europe, apart from 2 years when it had some losses, and those were COVID years. Most of the clubs and everything recorded losses, but Arsenal has been making profits. They might not have been higher profits, but in terms of revenue, it's the club that has been growing its revenue base year in. They might not have been profits, but Arsenal has been growing profit year in, year out, despite of not, winning trophies. And even the level of indebtedness. It is one of the clubs, you look at its balance sheet, it's one of the clubs that has very low debt ratio because it has been operating a lean strategy. And that's what Mohamed is sharing with you. It's not just the trophy today. This has to do with the strategy. You as an individual at your workplace, what strategy are you adopting to grow through the ranks, to develop your professionalism and grow through the ranks up to the highest that you can achieve, like Arsenal did? You as an entrepreneur, what strategies are you laying? Arsene Wenger laid his tactics. They delivered him. But was it a quick win, a quick gain? It took Wenger so many years. And even after reaching the climax, organization reached the climax and they go down. Because from that moment, the titles refused to come. But the man maintained his composure and his eyes were on the goal. And so were the shareholders of Arsenal. It's us, the fans, who have been on the hit, especially the young fans. The Mohamed Kachikas who saw Arsenal winning, I think one time we needed to win 3-2 to clinch the title. Arsenal did it. 3-2. It was 2-0 down, but it needed to win 3-2 to win the championship. It did. It scored from behind. So there were some people who were contented and satisfied with Arsenal's performance. What lessons do we learn? As an old person, me, most people's life journey has been exemplified in Arsenal Football Club's success. It took time to rebuild the team. It came so close to last year to winning. It has adopted many strategies that seemed the time of Theo Walcott and the rest. We knew we had got it. It slipped off our hands. Last year, we were nearly sure. 10 points lead. And it slipped out of our hands. What does that tell you about your business strategy? This year alone, a mere injury, to Bukayo Saka. Didn't we all hold our hands onto our head? Is that what you want in your business? Are you dependent on one market? Are you dependent on one supplier? Or you have a solid team? Should you need to have that principal, supplier, to have that principal market that propels you, as Bukayo Saka is? Is it old people who always do it? Is Mikel Arteta an old seasoned coach? Is it the old people who always succeed? The young people can also do it. I wish I could go so much in detail to discuss Arsenal's tactics, economic tactics, which is my field, my area. It is not the soccer tactics I'm here to discuss or to talk about. I just see the same way how Arsenal has reached that level. That's the same way that some business people adopt. I am for slow and sustained growth. Farming. I'm as closer to Arsenal's drought period. 17, 18 years farming. Trying to get to that position where I want to be. But how many people would want to achieve success through the Arsenal way? Someone should tell me, if Arsenal took the championship last year and the same way it has taken it this year, which is the sweetest? Every single time you win is sweet, but there's a point when it is sweetest. I'm certain as a believer, there's always God's hand, but I'm also certain as a strategist. I think the trophy could not have come at any other time than this year. Both in terms of financial rewards, when it has reached the European Championship, Club Championship finals, and at the same time, it has won the EPL, the English Premiership, with a chance of having a double in the same year. Isn't that Mohammed's strategy? That he takes his time, spread his risks, watches like the same way a python lay in the wait until when that antelope will fall into its trap. But while adopting one strategy after the other. Hope you soccer enthusiasts, you can easily recall very well how Leicester City came from nowhere, from obscurity, to winning the EPL. Where is it now? Did it enjoy it so much? Maybe it did. In the record history, it is there. But how come 20 years ago, an old man in his 60s can still remember the squad that led Arsenal to victory as if it is yesterday? I can talk about Thierry Henry and still see, exactly what he used to do. Dennis Beckham, Ashley Cole. I can still vividly see, that Frenchman, the way how they used to dribble. Because that's how legends are made. You can take it from me. Whether it is today or after 10 years, there'll be some people who will say there was a man called Mohamed Kachika who brought pride to his place, his village in Abalanga, by growing a lot of fodder. I can see out there the milk man has come and my Mercedes has parked where he is. But how many people want to taste success in their first run? To the youth, Leicester City is a typical example for a youth who want to come in the first year and sweep through the other clubs and win the championship. But how far did it go into the Continental Championship? And where is it now? Build a legacy. Do not rush so fast into whatever you are doing, wanting that success. I've just been in here, I asked my workers, I gave them a day off. At 10, when they finished porridge, I called the managers and I told them, this is a day to celebrate for Arsenal. Tell all my workers they have a day off. There's one area, far area, Lutengo. I'm yet to go there in the evening and also give them their happiness. And how difficult it was to get an Arsenal jersey. Hey, you businessmen. How quickly could you double the prices of Arsenal jersey in town? Because I had to pay double. I have a football team here at my farm. I have more than 50 boys, they're about 70. They always play. Now, Idi is a few days from now. We are going to have the Idi Cup. The Kachika team is always there. It beats all the villages around. Now they are going to don Arsenal jersey. Instead of the usual Kachika green jersey, they are going to don Arsenal jersey. And it pays. It's very good. You see how the young men are so happy. But there is a man who came in, a gentleman who came in trying to look at around the farm. And his remarks were really very good to me. He told me, Mohammed, when I've just seen the degree of happiness that you have with your workers, I don't need to go far or I don't need to investigate anything. That's why you succeed. That's why you succeed. But at times you look at how sometimes some people want to jump steps and the end result is usually do not rhyme. Young people, take the steps closer, slowly, slowly, slowly. You'll have a sweet win the same way we've had it as Arsenal. Have a nice and lovely evening.